Hello, Mother.
Well, hi there, sweetie.
You know, Mother, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Your life, however, is more like a box of active grenades. Now, I offer you one last chance for deliverance. Return my mind control device, or be destroyed.
Oh, you just want your toy back. Okay, here you go, honey.
Yes, well, victory is mine!
Peter, you commented in the message chain about this, about is knowledge enough? What do we think? So tell us about what you're thinking when you say that.
I think it's one of those things where we can decide to fill ourselves with knowledge, which is, if I just get another qualification, if I just get another grade, then I'll be ready. And there's a risk of we think that our lives are to consume all the knowledge in the world, and really there's that art that goes with it. You know, life is not really always easy as a simple this, then this, then this, then this. So knowledge is important. We need our toolkit, but the real power is knowing which tool to use. And that comes beyond just learning the knowledge. And so that's why I think there's that beyond knowledge, but also beyond yourself, because what often holds us back as leaders is ourselves. And it's some deep stuff as well. And again, all the knowledge in the world won't fix that.
Well, I would tend to agree with you on that. But what's interesting is, so I observe, I have a number of coaches in my connections, and they sometimes don't even do to themselves what they're telling their customers to do. So Chris, coming in on that, what is that about?
Well, theory is easy, isn't it? And thinking we understand it is not the same as knowing what to do, is not the same as knowing how to do it, right? You can theoretically know how to ride a bike, but until you actually get on a bike, you don't know how to ride a bike. You can't theoretically learn how to swim. You have to get in the pool. Right? There's lots of things in life where information is not enough, and it's that whole idea that there's a hierarchy, isn't there? You get data, and then you get information, then you get knowledge, then you get wisdom, and they're not all the same thing.
No.
And wisdom only comes from experience. So yeah, I think that's part of what we're talking about here.
It is part of what we're talking about. Now, Sydney, you've obviously, well, I say obviously, Sydney is a new business owner. So you've been going for what, 18 months, have you, so far, Sydney?
Less than that, probably about 13.
13 months. And already she's at a point whereby she can only take a couple more customers. So I'm very grateful that she's given her time to come here. How do you see leadership? Because you're working on your own.
I think for me, it's kind of going back to that whole knowledge is knowledge enough kind of side of things, like coming out of university and stuff. Absolutely not. Knowledge is definitely not enough. How I've learned to build the business is through the connections and the actual experiences of having the meetings with those people. And I think from my point of view, because I've only been going so long, I'm very aware that there's stuff that I'm not going to know. And with regards to kind of leadership, not so much leadership as a client, because I see that as more of a partnership. But if I have a client, say, who is really kind of encouraging of my progress as well as theirs, and really wants to work with me and has such a positive kind of attitude as, say, a client / leader in the role, I will feel 100 times more comfortable than if I have a client who is nitpicking at everything I say and trying to display their authority over me, rather than someone who's saying in partnership and trying to support me. It's a complete different working environment, it's a complete different working relationship, and the results of the work are completely different purely because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a great proponent of positive psychology, and people micromanaging and nitpicking really draws the joy out of working. So, Guy, I'm going to follow this up in a bit, but from your perspective, because we all know lots of things, so what's the difference in getting a client on board? Why and how does that happen?
Jonathan, I think let me take it from the angle of personality styles. And if you track, and as Chris mentioned, 96% of people fail, SMEs. And to me, the single biggest issue is their type of leadership when in terms of their startup idea, and then what I call the next phase, getting their act together, and then the arrogance, complacency phase. And to me, it's about understanding your own personality style and knowing that you can't do it all. And a lot of SMEs, and if you track in the first 3 years, 80% go to the wall because they're control freaks. They've usually come from a sales background or a technical background, and they want to control everything. And in today's world, those things have changed. So to me, it's about the leader being in the trenches, understanding the dynamics of the 2 or 3 staff members they might have around them, but also understanding the dynamics of where the client's positioned, what products, as Peter rightly said, in terms of what benefits and value you're adding, and what's the knock-on effect. So to me, it's about the personality styles, understanding where you are in the business life cycle, because each life cycle phase has different characteristics. And if you're aware of those, and that's where the knowledge side comes in it, but you learn a lot of that about being in the trenches. So like Sydney, for example, she's in the idea phase and is getting excited. Now she's got to offload. And that's going to be a challenge because you want to control stuff, and there's going to be stuff falling through the gaps. And that's going to happen. That's the risk of running a business. So that's my brief take on it.
Well, so here is my observation. We are
good word, Jonathan. Good word, observation.
Yeah,
good word.
yeah. I've learned to be less judgy as time. I'm mellowing with age. But my observation is that, so Guy and I are both dyslexic. I don't know if any of the other 3 of you have anything to add to that, but once I read about dyslexia in other people, I recognized what I was doing in my own brain. And the ability to step out of oneself and observe is not common. Self-awareness is not common. I thought it was absolutely common because I have it so strongly. Peter,